No, that's proprietary. There's no pen. There's no pen. I really dislike this.
You'll just click a button and then shake your head.
That's pretty cool.
That's proprietary. Everything has been checked.
I'm going to write a strongly worded letter.
Piece of garbage.
Wait, what now? No, how does it do that?
That's proprietary.
Hey, we're paying for this.
You're an idiot. Magic.
No.
This is why I'm really good at these videos, because I'm an idiot. Hey. Oh, I hate you so much. I'm going to have to learn a whole new thing.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Steel Forum. Today we've got part 2 of our previous episode with Todd Greening, where we went over MDM solutions. He did kind of a live demonstration for us. We asked a lot of questions and got a lot of information about it, but it did take quite a bit of time, and there were some audio problems when we were shooting the video, so I've had to chop it up quite a bit. So if you see a little bit of rough spots here and there, that's why we ran into some audio problems. So they've been exceedingly patient with us for getting this video out. We hope you enjoy it. And as always, if you have questions, please let us know down in those comments, and we'll see you back here on the Steel Forum.
Okay, so I'm just going to return to this one. I'm just going to check all the material in one shot. All material check.
So what we ran into as a limitation before was because of the need to change statuses. We have just a dedicated drafting station, and a drafting station cannot change the status of a member, but it can change member custom properties.
Yes.
It could.
Nothing anymore, though.
Just to mention,
changed
in version 1.3, it will work on a drafting station.
Okay.
Now, of course, you're still limited by what a drafting station can do. I have no control over that.
Sure.
Right. Well, and my goal really, I don't want to be using a full station to be doing checking. It's wasteful.
Yep.
So that was something we ran into, and we have noticed a bug in SDS2, and we're trying to track it down, where custom properties, certain ones that should not be marking things for detailing are. But what you said, the advantage of SDS of the MDM module is you don't care if things marked for detailing or not.
Even if I wasn't using it, I wouldn't care. I really wouldn't care. When I was detailing, if I was to detail, I'm getting this by hand. So when I was detailing a member, I had a group of members to detail. So anything highlighted here, was indicated that it's marked for detailing. I wouldn't care. Say I had to detail B24 to 30 or whatever. So I would clear that, and I would uncheck the preserve set system detail flags. So when I detailed my members, I'll just hit OK, there's nothing selected. And I came back, the next person who came, there's nothing marked for detailing.
I got to say, that's pretty ballsy.
I know what needs to be detailed. These do not need to be detailed. They're done. Because I know that underscore indicates they haven't been detailed. Or they've been detailed or haven't been finished.
You never hit the detail button until you're done.
Yeah, until I know it's ready. Now, of course, I make mistakes. What's that?
What about revisions, though? How do you...
Well, I'll get into revisions in a minute. Well, with MDM or normally.
I have a bad tendency to jump ahead. I'm sorry.
With revisions, let's say you don't go with MDM. I would get a revision to move something or add something. Let's say for this member here, B1008 or 008. Well, it's changing. I know it needs to be redetailed. If I'm popping holes into it, I know it needs to be redetailed.
But how do you keep track of it?
Well, if I'm doing a revision, when I was doing revisions, that's the revision I'm doing. I know those members. There's tools within SDS2 as well. So let's say B008. I don't know if you use the proximity.
Do what now?
The status report by proximity.
No, I've never even honestly heard of it.
I'll give you an example. B1A008. So I'm going to select, what items do I want to see? I want to see if it's been out for approval, shipped, or whether, for whatever it's been, released for fabrication. So I'm going to select, was it B1A? Here, let me just get it. B-1A008. So there it is. So hopefully it'll pop up. That's an SDS2. So it gives me information about all the members that member frames into and might affect. be A18005. So I can get information. Now I can also save this. So for whatever reason, wherever you keep your revision information, so this report, as you can see, it gives me the information about those members, or if I didn't want that status information, I just run it. Excuse me. So status report by proximity. So in the window that opens, I'm not even going to select anything. So 1008. And there you go. Everything it's framing into. Now, understand, depending on what's changing, you know, it might affect other members. Say I'm changing this member here, it's going to affect the member on the other side. It'll list that as well. So even if you don't use MDM, I always recommend this report with revisions.
All right.
Okay, so let me get back to this. So they've been checked. Did I check them? I can't remember now. Yeah, release the check. So they've been, you know, the 3D checker has verified everything is correct. So I'm going to release them for detailing. So of course, now the 2D detailer knows these members are ready to detail. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the same tool. I'm going to detail them. So it opens up what's called my piece marking tool. So I do have a piece marking tool that you can use, that you can tell it how MDM should generate a finished piece mark. Okay. Now in this case, I've just used, you know, a simple piece marking. So I can confirm it, and I know there's no E in confirm, or I can generate it as something else. So sometimes you put in beams and you change them to trusses, is a good example. So it is technically still a beam in SDS2, but I can tell it, you know what? Generate it as a, you know, a ladder or truss or whatever the case may be. I can also add a prefix. Maybe there is, you know, G for galvanized or aluminum, something that you want to add it to the mark. Or I can simply edit and just add in my own piece mark. But in this case, I'm going to confirm the two of them. So it's going to go through the detailing process like normal. It's going to open up the member and annotation window. I'm going to click OK. Now, while that's going through, one of those members, in the case, it's actually this one here, it is exactly the same as another member in another sequence. I don't know, do you guys break your major marks apart by sequence?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Depends on the customer job.
Okay, so sometime in this case, if you do, notice that there's another beam in another sequence that's exactly the same. Do I want to use the automatic save as feature? This is new in 1.3, the new version. So I'm going to say yes. Now, I'm actually going to place it on a sheet right away. And I'm going to put it on a sheet in SDS2. So I'm going to select my available sheets. It will actually use the smallest one first. I'm going to click OK.
Wait, what now?
So I'm going to show you in a minute. So you'll need to redetail the BOM only for this new, I wouldn't say double member, but this member that is the same as another member in another sequence. So it's going to open up that redetail window that we've seen, except this time I'm just going to detail the bill of material only. So what it's doing in the background is actually taking off all the dimensions and inputting in from my original detail. That makes sense?
No, how does it do that? That's magic.
That's proprietary.
That's not fair. You're not playing fair.
I'll tell you right now, in 2018, you could do that manually, but we do a little extra behind the scenes. Also, I don't know if you've noticed, but you see my piece marks?
Yes.
They've changed. I didn't have to change them. They changed themselves.
So it put that on the sheet based on which sheet it fit the best on?
Yeah.
I hate you a little bit.
Hey, we're paying for this, so you know.
So yeah, this is version 1.3. It's being tested right now. I have it out to a customer being tested. Also, I'll probably send you a newer version because there were a couple of bugs I found.
Mm-hmm.
that have been fixed. But just let's go.
We're cool about bugs too. Like, we get it. We'll tell you about them, but we won't be whiny.
Now I'll show you a bug that I found. It's very strange. You notice I can't see my piece marks in the model anymore. It's the weirdest thing.
Matt always leaves his piece marks off, and I don't know why. He turns everything off. There's no information in his model. It drives me bonkers.
I'm going to have to edit everything anyway, so I'd rather not have all that white scribbling all over the
But how do you coordinate between the plan that you're looking at and what you're seeing on the screen? How do you know what's what?
I'll turn on section sizes when I need them. But only when I need them, and then I turn them off.
You're an idiot.
So the system, as it only put the beam on a sheet, so I want to do it to the 2 columns as well. So I'm going to open up my drawing control tool. Now I'm going to go under, there's a button for PDF export. So I want to put them on PDFs.
Oh no, I'm going to have to learn a whole new thing.
So here I can put them on, there's an option, the new column, detail to load on a sheet. So that column, I'm going to print my first copy and also load it on a sheet. So similar window from before. The only difference from before, it's because it saw another member that was exactly the same. So I'm going to, so it'll always try the smallest one first. So it's created a PDF. It's on a sheet. So
no, it is not. You are telling lies.
If I open, now, I have Acrobat here at home, so I don't have Blake Bluebeam, but here is my BA 2000 or 001, the one that it created. It's on a sheet. Now, of course, you know, you're limited sometimes depending on the detail and the sheet, you might have to move it around. So I haven't physically, so let me go into here, I'll open the 2D portion just to show you. So there's no tricks involved. So I'm going to explain about the colors in a moment. So I'll go to my detail sheets. So there's my column on the sheet. Now, of course, there's
it's excitement too, but it's consternation.
There is a step I skipped for the columns, because technically I would probably go into them and clean them up first. So let's say I'll do that now. The other one, because it saw it was exactly the same as another member, it just replaced those items. That's it. Okay, so I'm just going to open that column just to show you what you would normally do before putting it on a sheet. You can put it on a sheet if you want. The only difficulty is, let's say I add stuff to that column and no longer fits on that sheet, so I might have an issue. Sorry, details. So on the 2D detail, as the 2D checker at this, well, so those 2 members, as you can see, are in the ready to check column. So as a 2D checker, I'm going to say, you know what? They're good to go. I'm going to move them to check. I'm going to use my name. So they're in the process now of being checked in 2D. And I'm going to show you what we're going to check in 2D. And I'll use the beam as the example. Is say the detailer now has gone through, cleaned it up, created put them on the sheet, etc. When they add something manually, they must put it under a different color. So I've used, in this case, the pen number 7. So anything they've added manually has to go under that color. The reason for this is when we look at the PDF in the model. So we're going to look at BA 2001. As you can see, it comes out as brown on the PDF. We're checking the PDF. So everything else has already been checked. This has been checked. The section size has been checked. I'm only verifying that it can be fabricated with the information provided. And I'm going, anything the user added, I'm going to verify using the tools provided. Like I have Acrobat as a piece of garbage, but I usually recommend Bluebeam. So I would just highlight it as normal. You know, anything is good.
Now, I just want to catch you with something real quick. So in the latest version of SDS, well, I think it's in 2017 too, that user created annotation or user modified annotation, that will do the same thing without the user having to manually think, oh, I have to set it to pen 12. Or
Exactly. That's one of the reasons. Well, we asked for that, so we wouldn't have to do this manually.
Did you ask for the geniuses to set it to white as their default color? Was that your idea, so that I could shoot you with a rubber hose?
Not my idea.
Okay.
But it how can I put this? There's some extra things that you're going to have to do within SDS2 in 2018. But actually, MDM as it works now, in 2017 and below, you would have to use a secondary fabricator. Because when I send this to, say, approval, the engineer or whoever's approving, I don't want them to see brown lettering on my PDFs.
Right. We've been in 2018 for a while, though. It's not a problem in 2018?
Nope. It's just you work a little differently. The person who, I should have 2018. The person who's sending for approval or for fabrication, all they would do is in their user options,
the fabricator to a different one it was the exact same fabricator, except that pen now comes out black.
Exactly. So now you don't need to do that in 2018. In 2018, the only thing you have to change is the person who's sending out stuff for fabrication approval, is that within their user options, where the hell is it? You turn them off because they'll come out black.
Okay.
Because internally, I want to see this for checking purposes.
Yep.
So, I would check everything. Like I said, Acrobat is not the tool for this, and I'd save it. Once everything is done, let's say there was an error. I'm just going to, come on, Acrobat. I don't care about this.
It's actually crazy to me. There are detailers out there actively using Acrobat as their PDF viewer.
Yeah, I would get Bluebeam, but I'm at home. I'm not spending $200 for a couple of shots. Right. And I look for some PDF editors, and
you haven't bought it in a while. It's a lot more than that now.
Oh, really? Well, it depends on the version you get too.
And we go with the cheap version, and it's still
even the cheap version's over I think it's over $350 now.
Wow.
Yeah,
I think it's over $4 at this point.
Is it really?
I think so.
I'm going to write a strongly worded letter.
Yeah, it's you know what? Well, maybe I shouldn't say anything. Since
maybe not.
SDS2s were owned by the same company. Could we get a discount?
We'll edit our complaints out, maybe.
Okay. So in this case,
nothing's coming out.
I've done my checking. So I'm going to move, say, the column that's done. I'm going to move it to the final check column. It's just I want to try to show the members as well at the same time. So I'm going to use that column. I'm going to move it to the final check. So no error found. So as I moved it to the final check, there was an internal check to verify that the material in the model matches the material in 2D as far as the bill of material, that there are no discrepancies.
Does it ever run in like an automated clash check or anything like that?
A clashing? No.
Okay.
So I'm going to move it there. I'm going to sign my own name to it. So as you can see, if they change color means they're finished. Now, however, let's say I found a problem on this member. So instead of sending it for the final check, I'm going to move it to the back check. So it changes color. Now it indicates that in 2D, there's something for the 2D detailer to verify. So of course they could open it here, verify, let's say, I don't know, a missing dimension, incorrect piece mark. They can fix it in SDS2. So they would verify first, what's wrong with it. Okay, I go into SDS2. So at this point, what the detailer would do, if there was a change that need to be changed, let's say, I don't know, I'm going to put this to 1/8 of an inch. They would fix, of course, verify. Oh, so it's fixed. I'm going to send it for rechecking. So now if I don't know if Acrobat will do it because Acrobat's a piece of garbage. Ah, it did. So you'll notice it opened up 2 PDFs. My original one before the change and the new one. So I have a history always.
I don't understand what just happened.
Okay. Okay, I'll do it.
This is why I'm really good at these videos, because I'm an idiot.
No.
I'm not afraid to ask questions.
So my original PDF that I created, or the detail as it was at the beginning, that weld was 3/16.
I'm sitting here like, yes, this is awesome. I love these revisions. And Nick's just like, what the hell am I looking at?
Actually, you know what? If you want me to, I'll give you another example. I'll do another example. So close current tabs, close. I'm going to go, let's say this member here. I'm going to send it all the way through. So I'm going to bypass any checks. I'm going to send it for detailing. Confirm that piece mark.
Confirm.
Oh, I forgot a step.
That's a bug you're working on, right? Fixing confirm.
Okay, so, and also at any time, I didn't mention this, but there is a report. So I forgot the reason for detailing. At any time, the user, there's a detailer log. I can get information about this user. In my case, it's me, obviously, and where we are in 2D as far as what that user has done. So I just want to mention.
That's a great feature for us, but not so good for our employees.
Oh, I haven't gotten to what's this tool? I was live progress. Yeah.
See, you're never again going to have to say, hey, what's the status of this? Where are we at with it? You'll just click a button and then shake your head and be like, go faster, monkeys.
Yeah, you see, you'd like to think that, but you know in your heart that really I'm still just going to go, hey, where's everything at?
Yeah, I know.
I'm too lazy to press the button.
Okay, so now I'm just going to, again, create that PDF. I forgot a step somewhere. There it is, 3001. So I'm going to put it on a sheet, create a PDF out of it. So right now what it's doing is placing on a sheet in SDS2 and creating a PDF of it.
And you selected two different available sheets saying, if it doesn't fit on this one, put it on this other one.
Exactly.
I hate you.
So I'm going to move it to the checking column so it's ready for checking. And I'm going to play the 2D checker now. And we're going to say there's a problem. So
there is. Ugh.
Yeah. So I'm going to, I don't know what these tools are. There's no pen. There's no pen. Highlight. How can anybody use this? I'm going to add this because I just want to add something here. I'm going to go there. And I wish I could add.
I once saw a man carry a refrigerator down the street on a bicycle. So people are capable of overcoming amazing obstacles.
Yeah. So I'm going to, if I close it, save changes. Yes. What the hell? How do I save as? I really dislike this. You know what? I'm just going to try it. I don't like Acrobat. So I've sent it. I put an error on it. So I'm going to put it.
You overwrote your original file, though. Is that what you're gunning for?
Yeah, I was gunning for that.
Okay.
So because I did change it. There's, let's say, an error on it. I have to send it back to the detailer. So I'm going to move it to back check. So now that detailer would get a note that it's, he has something to back check. Okay, so I just wanted to mention, go back to where it was. So I have, for the 2D detailer, something to back check. So again, they can open up that PDF, please, it's saved. Okay, so whatever I wrote, they can verify it. So for whatever reason, there's something has to be changed in the SDS2 detail. So I'm gonna go, just to show that detail, I'm just gonna put something, text or something, just to show that there's a change done to the drawing. So that's label. Label add. I'm not really concerned with what it says. And I save the SDS2 drawing, close it out. Now, when I return to the model, I've done my changes. So I'm going to take that item that needs that's been back checked. I'm going to move it to the recheck. So again, it's here. Now, if the checker opens the PDF, so you see at the bottom, I'm going to open it up. Okay, so you have the new detail with the change here. I also have the original one. Just when you were doing it by hand, when you were doing it, checking the paper, this is how you would do it.
Right.
You get your, the checker would look, yellow out everything that's good and red, things that need to be changed, send it back to me. I would verify it, fix the 2D detail, reprint it. So now you have the original, and of course, any subsequent changes that have been done to it.
So what's the magic going on in the background?
It's just using through the parametric PDF create. It's creating another PDF, and it's saving it somewhere else.
So there's turtles all the way down there.
Yeah.
So there's all of these PDFs are saved someplace. Do we have control over the someplace?
Yep. You have control where it is. Here, actually, I'll show you. So let me close all tabs. So I didn't go through the directory setup because that's more advanced, but I tell it where to go. So as you can see, the PDF check directory, in this case, I use the job. So because I move these projects, home, work to a client's machine. So I always have to keep everything together. But
do you use Dropbox?
I have never tried a cloud-based system.
Oh, you gotta try Dropbox.
As a cloud-based system, I've tried.
Well, you can't put your job in Dropbox.
No, but I could put the PDF directory here.
Right.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I've had.
But I'm just saying, you can't put the job directory. You can't put your program data folder in Dropbox. You'll lose your mind. But
yes. Now,
and then if you put these files into Dropbox, that's fine. But then when you pack the job, they won't come with it.
What do you flash drive it back and forth?
If I flash drive it, yes, or I use Dropbox for the whole file, the whole JFT, because I put everything inside the job.
All right.
Okay, so you do use Dropbox. Just I think you two are confused on what you're using.
Yeah. Okay. So I thought you wanted to use it like the PDF check directory, cloud based.
Yeah. No.
Oh, it's just to transfer the project back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can use Dropbox. That's fine. What I would do, though, I would recommend you use the job directory. So when you JFT the file, everything is there. So just to show you, if I go to...
Oh, so the JFT gets all those PDFs by default?
Yeah. As long as I'm using the job directory here.
See, that's tricky.
Yeah, there's plus and minuses. Yeah. So let's say I don't want that information in there. Because there's information. It's all a lot of that is internal. Sometimes I don't want the engineer to have that.
Right.
All right, guys, that's it for this portion of the video. We're going to get more to you very, very soon, but we do like to break it up into chunks so that it's not too overwhelming or too boring for you. I know that detailers tend to have short attention spans and lots to do. So if you got questions, please leave them down below in those comments. And as always, we'll see you back here on the Steel Forum.
That's proprietary.